The woman rhythmically tapped her fingers against her cheek. It turns out she was communicating with the death row inmate in the courtroom using Morse code. She asked the man how she could help him escape, and once he received the message, he responded with a blink. There was so much information to process, the woman immediately grabbed a pen and began jotting it all down. After they exchanged their messages, the trial came to an end. The man was sentenced to death, to be executed 3 days later, but he wasn't worried at all. Just a moment ago, he and the woman had devised an elaborate escape plan. The man's name was Debrick, a notorious and infamous criminal. That very night, following Debrick's instructions, Xiaoyi arrived at a wall. She located the exact brick he had specified, pushed it gently, and the wall slowly lifted to reveal a luxury car hidden behind it. She got into the car and immediately drove toward the next destination. When she saw the 37 km road sign, she pulled over. Her body then turned into a door and slowly opened. The car entered a cave, which was like an entirely different world. She entered a safe code, and the safe popped open to reveal stacks of cash and colorful vials of medicine. Xiaoyi picked up the yellow and green vials Debrick had instructed her to take. Next, they would need to break Debrick out of prison immediately, but first, she had to find a key player, the Minister of Justice. This man used his power for corruption and was also a filthy pervert. Seeing how beautiful Xiaoyi was, he had longed to possess her. When he saw that the beauty had come to him willingly, he eagerly closed the door, ready to do something immediately. But Xiaoyi made him first declare his love for her. The minister swore right there, promising that he would go through fire and ice for her. Xiaoyi smiled softly. Well, you said it yourself. She then picked up the newspaper on the table, which had a story about Debrick soon to face the guillotine. She said she was curious about the legendary figure and wanted to meet him before he died. The minister immediately refused. After all, he was a death row inmate. Xiaoyi had to play her trump card. She teased him by making a subtle move with her nose.
Io posso darti tutto quello che desideri.
The minister immediately agreed, but only if he could accompany Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi grinned wickedly. This was exactly what she had hoped for. That very night, the two arrived at the prison. The minister made up some excuse to say he needed to question Debrick, and soon the three of them entered the interrogation room. 27 minutes later, the minister walked out coldly, leaving Debrick standing there like a lifeless mannequin. The warden commented that since Debrick had been incarcerated, he'd been in that same wooden, silent state. The following day was the day of the execution. The prison guards cut off Debrick's collar and pushed him onto the guillotine. But even at this point, he still maintained a stone-faced expression, as though the whole situation had nothing to do with him. Seeing this unusual behavior, the sheriff suddenly felt something was wrong. He recalled the various human skin masks he had found at Debrick's house, and a bad feeling washed over him. He immediately rushed forward to stop the execution.